Does anybody here like avocado? I don't like that. I always think, yes, yes, I always think Bloomquist. Secret is, I really do know how to pronounce it. Well, I never thought I'd say, well, her house was probably counted down, I got even more. When my son got ready to graduate high school, she was going to do one more, and he was borderline. And he came home and said, Mom, I need money for a cat and gown. You're not getting 1 cent until I get a guarantee that you're going to graduate. Wendy, have a good one. He did. Yeah, Thursday I got off work at 3 again. And there's just really hard time. But we usually you have nothing. Sour cream? In California. This piece is called I Used to Live There. And actually, I never lived there, but it's buildings and it's a whole city. And it took a whole semester to do it. And yarns, it's all hand-dyed cotton. I dyed it myself. And it's a different piece for me because it's not flat on the wall. It's kind of three-dimensionally. It comes off the wall. And it's different. It took a lot of work into it. But my strings are both pretty good. And these are just part of the samples. These are all over the place. You want me to go all the way down? Okay, this one here is a study for some other pieces that I did. And Miss Fisher, my teacher, didn't like it because it didn't have anything woven in it. But come on, I wove these sticks. And these are little knitted elements, which isn't a real common thing in a lot of textile art. And I even had to make these little bitty rings. And it was kind of a fun piece to make. The funny thing about it is there's little teeth marks in here where my cat chewed on it before it was finished. And there's more pieces further on that are more like it. This piece up here is a really good favorite of mine. It's called the Taj Mahal, which means it's like an homage to the Taj Mahal. And it's done in double weave technique, which means you actually weave the surfaces of the fabric into themselves and stuff it as you go, which gives it this puppet system. And once again, I hand-dyed all of these cottons. And there's little lead weights in here. So these parts are heavy. These are little pellets. And that one, I really like that one a lot. I'm going to have to change the background a little bit. But it's Melissa's absolute favorite armor make. This one here is called Captain Oswald of the Cricket Brigade. And once again, it's all hand-dyed cotton yarn. And actually, the yarn used for this is tobacco twine, which is a lot cheaper than buying regular yarn. And it's a portrait of a very dear friend of mine, Donald Campbell, who used to be my boyfriend. He's having a baby now. And this is him. This is a computer screen. He was always doing a lot of computer work. This is his Volkswagen Beetle that he used to have. And the outline, the red part up there and the shape out here, you can kind of see, it's kind of a suggestion of a guitar. And the cricket up here was his nickname for me. He used to call me Cricket. And he used to live in an apartment that was infested by crickets, and no matter where you went, they were always there chirping. And that's about pretty much the symbolism. I think the funnest thing about it is the nails and the eyes and the glasses being the same. But it wasn't supposed to be stuffed to start with, but it's just the best way to get it to lay flat. I like that piece. Portrait. This piece up here is, I call it my rainbow tunic. That's the first piece I did dealing with hand-dyed yarns. It's hand-dyed cotton. Using, however, a different type of dye than I use now. It produces a lot more subtle colors. And that one took a very long, intricate time to make. And it was woven in my first studio that I had. and there's someone who might buy it. So I'm all excited once again about that piece. It fits pretty nice on. You wear it right foot up there. Very special. This one took me about 9 months. And somebody said to me one time, gee, well, you could have had a baby in 9 months. But you just can't put a baby in the closet and forget about it. So this piece is the third sweater that I ever actually attempted to do. I never did finish the first one. And every row is like a different combination of yarns. And there's a design also on the back, which is kind of hard to see. And I started by doing the sleeves first. Just very intricate patterning on them. And I started the black part down here the night that our restaurant got covered in soot and I had to stay up all night to watch people. So it's got that memory tied into it. And I finally finished it, and it was not done for a class or anything. I just did it because I wanted to, because it was a project that I felt I needed to get out. And let me just go up here. This is a piece that I'm doing. I'm starting to do a little series of these, and I've had some people that are interested in them. A lot of people now are wearing crystals around their neck, and you can put crystals in here, or little odds and ends, little keepsake pieces. It's like an amulet, kind of. And it's done with beadwork, which is a technique, once again, that I didn't learn in school. And they take about, if you work at them constantly, they really take about 2 or 3 days to do if you're continuously, if you do them in between pieces and stuff. This piece I did this semester. It's one of the tiniest pieces I've done. This is actually sewing thread that I used for the work. And this in here is a lot of linen and cotton that's woven in. And this is a copper bar that I designed to have woven through the whole design. This piece originally had another border piece around it that once I stuck this piece onto the black background, I liked it so much I left the other piece out. And so I'm going to make something else of that one. And I did this one, I started it this semester, and when I finished it, I was thinking about my cat that had been killed. And that's why it's got the title, Grease Surrounded by the Color of Hope. So it's kind of a sad piece, but it's got happy things to it. And this is another really special piece that I put a lot of time into. The piece of fabric here that's woven is a random pattern that goes all the way up. It's one continuous piece of fabric that goes all the way around the back, and then back around this side. The lady that I worked with, Linda Clark, worked with me really close with the fabric and how we can manage to make it fit into the pattern. This is hand-knitted collar. It's got knitted cuffs on it. And in a way, it's kind of like the purple tunic that was up there before. Is that this fabric, unless I really, really studied it, I'd probably never be able to copy it because it's so unique. It just goes through different shades. And she did a really good job sewing this one. This here is a bathrobe I did. I believe I did it the same semester as I did the brown jacket. Most of the work threads are, once again, hand-dyed cotton. There's a few others in there that are not dyed. It's called here, the red. And let's see. It wove up pretty quick because it's a really simple pattern, but the yarn that it was woven with is really thick and heavy, and it did a really good job. It's warm, it's great to wear. It's terrible to wash because there's all kinds of girls close behind. Okay, this piece right here, if you can tell, if you get really close to it, it's got all these fuzz balls on it. It's because I actually wear it. It's not just a art piece. And this is probably my 4th sweater, I think, that I did. No, I'm sorry, it's my 5th. And it's really thick and heavy. It's got alpaca in it, which is one of my favorite fibers. And once again, it's a very subtle design on the back, but the front, it's got most of the pattern and the sleeve. And it's a very warm sweater. It's got a turtleneck. And it's done with a really simple, basic pattern where you're working with 2 squares and then the sleeves design. And I'm going to just probably planning on doing some more with this style. Different colors. This piece right here is this rainbow cotton here. I did not dye, but the greens that are in it here, and especially you can see up the sleeves, are all dyed by me. And this piece is called In Celebration of Motherhood. And when it's actually, it looks a lot better on than it does on the wall. It's got more the design elements in it to accentuate the female form. And this is for the belly here, for the belly button, but somewhere in there. And then the mirror, just for all the implications of reflection and whatnot. The sleeves were hand knitted, and I didn't plan them out. I never planned anything out when I make. And so I started the sleeves out at the bottom, and I knitted them up. I wanted them to expand and become ruffly. And actually, when it's worn, they come down very tight, and they poof up to be beautiful Juliette-style sleeves, which you can't really tell up here. But that piece had a lot of more symbolic consideration in it than just a woven garment. I did this piece in a metals class. It was in the wood and metals class that I did. I've never really worked with metal before, but I was doing some beadwork at the time, and I incorporated some of the beads into the piece. There's glass beads and wood beads, actually. And I like the way it is copper, and I like the way that it's tarnished, so it's not just a shiny kind of copper. I wanted to feel it more primitive. It doesn't have a catch. You just slip it on over your head. And it's got more of a three-dimensional element to it, which of course was a mistake when I did it, and it worked out perfectly. These two pieces here were done. There was a piece earlier on that didn't have a woven background to it, which kind of upset Miss Fisher. So what I did was I wove sort of a tapestry idea on the background and wove in sticks into the design, and then lashed more on this way, and then more on this way, more on this way, to get more of a cage kind of depth to them. This one up here is more of a winter scene with evergreens, and there's a bell and a little piece of stuff. It's more ideas of winter, like in the Adirondacks or something, from what I remember when I was a little kid. And this piece down here has more animal themes to it. It's got some shark's teeth. This is a mink tail that someone had given me. And there's pieces of handmade paper stuffed in here that looks like a skin to me. And these pieces are, once again, it's a woven background, and these are knitted pieces that are lashed on by copper loops that I made also.
Oh, great.
And these are my dad's. Okay, this piece was done. We were supposed to do a project that incorporated some ideas we had a workshop with, and what I did was incorporate handmade paper, which I made myself, into a woven background. And there's little strange elements in here, like all these little eyeballs, which people don't notice at first. And bamboo pieces, it was more natural, instead of just using like dowel rods or something. And I kind of wanted to have the idea of a garment that was woven, that was to be worn, but instead what I did was ended up coming up with a one-sided piece that looked like a garment, but it was to be hung on the wall. And if you wore something like this, it would probably break anyway. This piece I call Rat Race, and I did it in the ceramics class. I spent a lot of time carving out really intricate little mice and sticking them together. It hasn't been glazed yet, but these little mice just go around and around and around and pop up from behind each other. And there was a lot of time spent carving at leather hard clay in here. This piece was done in the same manner. It's carved out leather hard clay, and I was able to use. I started with the whole piece here, whereas I pieced that one together as I was working on it. And this one was carved out. It has different types of clay. The eyeballs are made from a different type of clay, so they'll fire up differently once it gets fired. I gave this one to my mom. This is my favorite dragon up here. And this one here, I call it my Cecil bowl. And I did it I was looking at a cat that I used to have, a Manx cat, but this one actually has a tail, because if you don't put the tail in cats, it looks really strange. And this one is a very heavy, solid type of pot, which I was trying to get. My cat had more of that character than the graceful type cat. And actually I was doing it, and it turned out really serious, kind of trying to catch an image of a cat. And then I started working on it. I started drinking a bottle of cheap champagne, and the piece got better from there. And this is an Afghan that I wove for my folks for a Christmas present. And I had other pieces ahead of it that I sampled the ideas for before I actually wove it. Oh, Dad. This piece it's an umbrella swift, and it's a weaving tool. You wrap a skeiny yarn around it, and you raise it up until the yarn is tight through here, and then you can unwind it. You pull the yarn and wind it into balls from there. It's supposed to have a turn screw here, but I tried to cut my thumb off when I was making it, so I kind of stopped. someday I will go back and finish it. And it's also supposed to have a turn screw through here so it can be mounted on a table edge. So what I'll probably do is have a more permanent situation when I actually do set up the studio. My dad helped me with it, and I do the rivets myself. What's your name? Wendy. It's mine, she's going to be reading it to me. In the bio? Much. More than I never went over to the house.
Our dog's big,
But Neil hated it. Finally.
Your dog gets some? I heard you say next time you cross the way they were Simon and Annie.
Yeah.
They were Karen.
Yeah, it's that's the day that Sonya I like the yeah. I heard it down. Never virus, but it's here. I don't know if you're living in that shower. And I saw them one day, and Brady was really bad about working. Just birding. That little girl was walking over there. Oh, Sarah. Come on. Don't go near her. Oh, no. Over here. There's some people shoot